This is a tutorial for making the elegant dreamy ballerina skirt that you might have seen a lot during the balletcore fashion era. I've made two versions of this skirt, one in a soft sage green silk and the other in a textured pink silk-like fabric. Each has its own unique charm. If you are a beginner, I would recommend starting with a fabric that's not too slippery but still has a nice strap to it. It will make the sewing process much easier and smoother. Record. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Cindy. I've been learning and going to sewing classes for the past 2 years now and been wanting to have my own YouTube channel for as long as I can remember, and I'm so happy that I finally did it. So if you also love sewing, I would love to have you join me on my sewing journey. So without further ado, let's get started. For this skirt, I'm using 1.5 meters of silk fabric with a width of 1.6 meters. If your fabric width is greater, that's even better. Fold the fabric in half twice. To keep it secure while working, you can use pins, paper clips, or any weighted objects to prevent it from shifting. This makes it easier for you to draw and cut later. Next, we'll draw two curved lines, one for the waist and another for the skirt length. For this step, using a measuring tape will save you a lot of time. For the waistline, use this formula, waist plus waist divided by 4 and all divided by 2 pi. For example, my waist is 70 centimeters, so using the formula, my result is approximately 13.9 centimeters, which I rounded up to 14 centimeters. To draw this curve, anchor one end of the measuring tape at the folded corner and rotate the tape to trace the curve. The second line is for the length of the skirt base. To measure this, you want to first decide how long you want your entire skirt to be and then take out the width of the waistband. For example, I want my final skirt length, which includes the waistband, to be 40 centimeters and my waistband width is 3 centimeters, meaning that the length of my skirt base without a waistband is going to be 37 centimeters. From there, I added 2 centimeters for seam allowance, so my total cutting length is 39 centimeters. When drawing the second curve, add the waist radius to the skirt length. In my case, 39 plus 14 equals 53. Using this measurement, 53 centimeters, anchor the tape measure at the same corner, rotate it, and draw the second curve. Now, carefully cut along the two curves. Separate the cut fabric without disturbing the remaining material, because you will have to use it later to cut the waistband. After that, unfold the fabric, then cut along one side. You cut the waistband along the stretch direction of the fabric. Doing this allows the waistband to hug your body better, which of course makes the skirt look more flattering. Next, draw the strip that is 8 centimeters wide, then cut it out. This will give you 2 long strips of fabric, which you will later combine into one long strip to wrap around your waist. To create a baby hem, fold the hem toward the wrong side of the fabric and sew close to the edge of the fabric. Sew as narrowly as possible. At this step, you can skip back stitching because it's not the final step yet. Here's an important note about hemming on a curve. Hemming curves is a little bit different from hemming straight lines. For a straight hem, when you fold the fabric, the length of the folded edge and the raw edge is the same, so the fabric can actually lay flat when sewn. However, for curved hems, the outer edge of the curve is always bigger than the inner edge. That way, when you fold the hem, there is a mismatch in terms of length. This means your fabric won't lay flat, and that's perfectly fine. This is the way it should be. Don't try to force the fabric to lay flat. Let it have a natural lift like so. Once the sewing machine starts, the natural lift will gradually disappear. Next, trim the excess fabric. If you want your final hem stitching to look even, make sure the distance from the folded edge to the trimmed raw edge is consistent. Finally, fold the hem again and sew close to the folded edge. Guide your fabric carefully and not let the stitching go up track. If it does, clip off any stray threads, overlap the stitches with the previous line, and continue sewing. No need to backstitch, it won't unravel. As I mentioned earlier, for curved hems, don't force the fabric to lie flat, let it have a natural lift. And finally, give the hem a press. And here's how my hem looks after being pressed. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Use the same hemming technique like we did earlier to hem the sides of the skirt. Since the sides of the skirt are straight lines, so when hemming, the fabric can actually lay flat. Now with right sides together, sew the two strips together using a 1 cm seam allowance to form the waistband. To start, pin the waistband to the skirt base, aligning the midpoint of the waistband with the midpoint of the skirt. Then sew the waistband to the skirt using a 1 cm seam allowance. After that, press the seam upward toward the waistband. To finish the waistband ties, fold, pin, and sew the ties right sides together. Before pinning, think about how you will position the fabric on your sewing machine. For example, I like to use the seam guide on the right hand side of my machine to help keep my stitching straight. To make that work, I flip the fabric over and pin it on the other side. This way, when I sew, the seam guide is on the correct side for me to use. Once the pinning is done, I start sewing. When I get to the end, I pivoted my presser foot and sewed diagonally to create a pointy shape for my ties. When I reach the end of the ties, I don't backstitch because, as I mentioned before, my backstitch tend to look very messy. Instead, I leave long thread tails and tie some knots to secure the stitch. Now turn the ties inside out. You can use a pencil like I'm doing here, insert it into the end of the tie and guide it through. Don't worry, the pencil won't get stuck inside. You'll be able to get it back out. Be sure to use the sharp tip of the pencil to push the pointy end of the ties outward. Iron the ties to make them nice and flat, and here's what I ended up with. Now, the final step is to completely enclose the skirt base with a waistband. Start at the midpoint of your waistband. Fold 1 cm in and then fold again, positioning the fold slightly over the previous stitching line, about 2 to 3 millimeters. This is the right size of the fabric. Later, I will sew along the seam. And this is the stitching line that indicates the ditch on the wrong side. So I want to fold the back side slightly over this line to ensure that when I sew on the right side, the stitching will catch the back side. After that, I pin the entire waistband. Make sure the folded edge slightly overlaps the previous stitch line. Really take your time with this step. After pinning, you can sew right away, but I prefer to hand stitch and fold in place first for extra security. When hand stitching, sew as close to the edge as possible. I know it's very time consuming, but it's worth it because it makes sewing with the machine much easier later. It took me 45 minutes to just pin and hand stitch. Once the hand stitching is done, remove the pins and press everything flat. Get back to your sewing machine, start sewing at the beginning of the skirt base and sew along the ditch on the right side. The advantage of sewing along the ditch is that your waistband will look clean with no visible stitching on it on the right side. However, the downside is that it can be tricky to catch the folded edge on the back side. If you are a beginner, I recommend sewing on top of the waistband, about 2 millimeters above the ditch, to ensure that your stitching catches the fabric edge on the underside. Really take your time with this step, don't rush. And here's the completed skirt.
Baby, I can't believe it. 이렇게 미를 다녀왔어. 하루 종일 all day. 어쩌다